Thank you, Heavenly Father, for this day that you have granted unto us. We ask you, O Lord, as we come to be about the county business, we ask, God, that you will lead us in a way that we should go. In your name we pray and we say together, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Consideration for the minutes of February 8th.
I move that the minutes be approved as presented.
Second.
Been moved and properly second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it, so it is. Motion to open public hearing.
So moved.
A second.
Moved and properly second. Hearing is open. Turkey Ridge. Yeah,
Let me go check out.
okay.
Thought there would be some crowd in here.
State your name.
I'm Harry Wilson with FC&E Engineering.
Okay.
We're here representing Mr. Elmore, who's applied for an expansion of his current mine, surface mine. I guess you've seen the
We have. Have any questions?
I have a question. This property, this phase will wrap around that cemetery. What plans do you have to protect that cemetery?
There are large setbacks for all kind of different features. Cemeteries is one of them. I'm trying to think if we've got, it would definitely be a buffer and a setback from that. Is this, where, can you show me where the cemetery is?
Cemetery's in the corner, in the northeast. Sure. All right, this is the cemetery right here.
Okay. And we're gonna start short of.
There's a tree line and a ditch, sorta.
He's
right there.
gotta avoid the ditch anyway. You have to be like 150 feet
From that ditch.
from that ditch. And it may be like a 500-foot cemetery, so it's a pretty big buffer. So
But you will, once you get out there, you'll protect it.
You will protect that. It'll be protected not only by just leaving everything as it exists right now and then have that green space between there. And then, and then you'd have silt fence and all that kind of stuff that would never let anything move towards the cemetery. But the mining activity would be more.
Excuse me.
minimal.
Go to the mic and explain, because we're live.
Okay, sorry about that. But yes, there are significant setbacks from cemeteries, any streams that are identified out there, property lines, so.
And your times of operation.
Daylight hours is the normal. We wouldn't be doing anything at night, and I don't believe we'd be doing anything other than the weekdays.
All right. Any more questions? Yes.
I have one issue. We've had a lot of problems with the dirt and dust and mud on Highway 22. We've addressed it numerous times. Can you make a note that they really need to pay attention to that?
Yes, sir. I do know that there have been a few instances of mud getting on the road, and, we reconstruct the construction entrances and that kind of thing with rocks and gravel. I believe that he's actually purchased a sweeper as well to try to take care of that.
He has.
So we're very aware of that situation and are always talking to Scott and other folks about making sure we keep that road clean.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions? I entertain a motion.
I move that this conditional use be permitted.
I'll second.
Been properly motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. So it is.
Thank y'all for your time this morning. I appreciate it very much.
Dave? Dave? The Nissan. They thin, thine?
Dave Thin is the name on the application and petition. This is a petition to rezone about 8.27 acres down at the intersection of Old Jackson Road and Nissan Drive in Section 10, Township 8 North Range 2 East. It's currently zoned agricultural, and they're seeking to have it rezoned to C2 for the purpose of probably a convenience store and then some shell buildings to lease out spaces next to it. It's a pretty good size piece of property. So. I don't know if anybody's here to object to it today or not, but, okay. All right.
Now, you all actually, how far you all from the Nissan plant?
How far from the plant? It's probably about 2 miles.
Okay. All right. All right, we'll hear from the opposing. Now, there are two petitions from coming off of Old Jackson Road. You sure you have the right one?
Yeah. This was, good morning.
State your name.
My name is Kirby Boyd, residents of 138 Cloverleaf Drive.
Bernice Conwell, 150 Cloverleaf Drive.
And James Bennett, 130 Cloverleaf Drive.
Okay.
The property that Mr. Dave just mentioned about rezoning, we actually, 138 Cloverleaf Drive runs, I guess you could say, east and west of that property where our homes are. So we came up today just to see what the request for rezoning from agricultural to C2. He actually wanted to put on the property and how that would affect our way of living currently for what we've been doing so far. So now C2, I think, covers a lot more than just convenience stores or any type of business I think can be put on C2 property. Am I correct? So we actually wanted, excuse me?
It does include more, retail, anything like that, convenience stores.
Right.
There are a lot of things that fall under C2 commercial.
So actually, I don't think neither three of us, it's probably at least two or more homeowners that live on Cloverleaf Drive or right there on Old Jackson Road that didn't appear tonight, maybe three to this morning, actually. So our concern is that having it rezoned from agriculture to C2, and what is actually going to be placed on the property, how that's going to affect, our property value as well as our living. Don't have any.
You did.
All right. Well, Attorney, you want to address that?
So the major structure would be, as I mentioned, a convenience store. And I would probably suggest to my clients that they have some type of buffer on that area that's between this 8.27 acres and these people's homes that front on the north side of Cloverleaf Drive. Cloverleaf runs east and west along the north side of this property we're trying to rezone. So, and their homes are just on Cloverleaf Drive there, so I would think maybe we could suggest some type of buffer right there to try to help protect them from anything that might bother them.
You got to speak in the mic if you want to address it.
You had mentioned convenience store and some other shell buildings. I believe you addressed it as. So could you elaborate on that just a little bit?
One possibility might be a wine and spirit store, maybe some type of fast food store.
Okay. This convenience store, is that normally what we see as far as the service stations with the?
That's it. It's got the big building. This will be a little bigger building. Normally, then you'd have the gas pump canopy out south of the building.
I got you. I'm familiar, but I wasn't sure. Now, I hear you say.
Speak into the mic, please.
I'm sorry. I hear you say that you would suggest to them that they put a buffer, some kind of buffer there or something. I would like to find out if that's something that they're willing to do.
I mean, but this board could maybe make that as part of the rezoning. They would have to do that.
Okay.
There can be conditions placed on a rezoning, and those conditions run with that rezoning. So if there's something that's agreed upon, a buffer, landscaping, lighting, all that can be conditions on this rezoning if the board so chooses.
So if that, you say if the board so chooses to do that, when would we know, the residents of the area?
When we make the motion, it will be included in it, so it'll be a part of it.
So that is something that you guys at the board would draw out in.
Approved, that would be a part of the conditional use,
Okay.
the buffer. If that's all, you're saying, make sure there's a buffer of protection, then that'll be a part of the conditional use.
There will also be a site plan on any construction on that parcel. There'll be a site plan that will be presented to us for approval, and at that time, we will be looking at that buffer zone.
All right, so as was mentioned, it's how many acres, sir?
8.27.
8.27. That's enough room to put multiple buildings. The one thing that I strictly have concerns with now, when he mentioned that, not only a convenience store, a gas station, there's a wine and spirit. We'll get together and talk about that, but as of today, I strictly object to that.
Do you know if the developer plans to subdivide this parcel?
I don't have any knowledge that they do. Sure don't. Do you?
Yeah, I don't think, because they want to sell it whole property, the owner who own it right now.
Okay, this is Mr. Thin. He says they don't plan to divide the property.
Do not, okay.
Right.
Any other questions? Any other opposition?
Can the audience have a question?
Are you a part of this group here?
I live in the area.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Rochelle Thompson. I live on Hawkins Thompson Lane, and we're going to be presenting to you all in a few minutes. But I'm concerned about this area because he just said a convenience store with Spirits. Spirits is a liquor store. And so we know that there are many employees that work at Nissan. That's a high traffic area. I just don't feel like a liquor store should be put on that corner. Also, too, this is an approximation, probably a good mile and a half from Germantown High School. So those things need to be thought about when rezoning this land and putting conditions on what could be there. You know, it's a high traffic area already. So then, too, you also have those apartment buildings, which is very close by as well. So you need to think about that when you're rezoning and will allow a liquor store on that corner. You got high traffic, you got youth that's at the Germantown High School. That just doesn't seem like it's going, you know, it would be appropriate to allow a liquor store on that corner. Thank you.
Mr. President, you know, if the board chooses, y'all can, you know, either table this for more discussions with the neighbors or vote on it now. That's y'all's choice. But, you know, there are no conditions really laid out for a conditional rezoning at this point.
What?
Such as a buffer zone and types of businesses, and you know, that might be something that they need to work out in the meantime.
Okay.
Wouldn't that be addressed on a site plan?
No,
No?
that comes with the rezoning. Those conditions are placed in the rezoning hearing, not at the site plan.
Entertain a motion either way.
I appreciate what was said just now, and I think we would really appreciate if you just give us some more time to try to figure out. It's not that we are totally opposed against this, but we do want to look out for the interests of our neighborhood and our community. So if you guys would.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt him. He may be speaking on, we're neighbors, he may be speaking on his behalf. Speaking of a liquor store, there's a liquor store that is already somewhat in the area. I highly oppose to having a liquor store in my front door.
I entertain a motion to table while the developers get with the community and work something out. Or motion to approve or deny.
All right, what is the zoning regulations when a C2 abuts A1 or a residential subdivision? Or is it strictly limited to C2 abutting A1 and not speaking to the residential subdivision?
Well, typically, you have a buffer of C1 or C1A before residential. The land use plan depicts, I think, industrial in this property.
Right.
You know, that could be, you know, a C2 zoning could be a very, you know, a conditional rezoning or with restrictions on certain types of businesses.
All right, if it's zoned industrial, a C2 use can be used.
No, the land use plan depicts industrial.
Right.
It's not industrial, it's agricultural.
No, I understand.
It's agriculture right now.
Right,
Yeah.
it is. My question is, if it were rezoned to C2, what are the zoning regulations regarding a buffer zone between this C2 and this subdivision?
I think it's 50 feet open landscaped or 20 foot with fence.
That's right, we've had that discussion.
Correct.
Okay.
So you could, the conditions on the rezoning you could actually extend that buffer zone if you so choose. That is a condition on the rezoning.
Can you also ask for heavier landscaping? buffer?
Absolutely. You would have that in the site plan review.
Entertain a motion.
I move we table this for further discussion and, until next month.
There a second? It's been motion properly second that it be tabled to next session. All in favor? Ayes have it, so it is.
Thank you.
Y'all get up with the neighbors there and see if y'all can come up with a solution for the next month's meeting.
Utah Construction.
Good morning. Utah Construction, we submitted an application to rezone approximately 60 acres of a 90-acre parcel from A1 to C2. Did not know that we had quite the interest that we have today, so we were going to ask to table this discussion until next month, if that's okay.
Say it again.
We're going to ask to table this vote till next month, if that's okay, so we can get with the landowners and
We've got a little more information now about
Yes.
site layout and where the building's going to be and things like that. I think we could share, and we'd be happy to hear from them on kind of what we're planning to do. I would ask to table it to next month so we can address any concerns that anyone else may have.
All right, we could hear their concerns right now, though.
Okay.
Excuse me, come on up to the mic, state your name.
We're not in agreement with them.
Speak in the mic, state your name.
My name is Perilia Taylor. I am Thompson Taylor. I am the second child of Lee and Mary Thompson. And the land that we're going to talk about borders the Smith property, are the ones that they're wanting to rezone. And so we would like to at least let you all hear our concerns, and then, we can all come back collectively and talk about it after the fact. Okay, rather than them tabling it today.
Good morning again. My name is Rochelle Thompson, and I reside at 323A Hawkins Thompson Lane, and here to represent 323 and 323A. The Zoning and Planning Commission should have received some other emails in opposition of moving forward with rezoning this particular land. We want to all those emails to make sure that they are admitted into the minutes on today for the emails that you all have received. Great. And we just want to let you all know that we are united in opposition to rezoning this land. Our land has been in our family for decades. We've had the pleasure of enjoying many family functions, growing our own fruits and vegetables, raising livestock, and living on the land. But now this way of life is being encroached upon those who only see the land as a business opportunity. So again, we just want to let you all know that we are unified in opposition. You will hear from myself this morning. You will also hear from heirs of Mary C. Thompson, and we have other family members that own land in the community as well. One thing that we do want to know is that have the Army Corps of Engineers conducted an extensive survey of the 60 acres partial, because it is partially in a flood zone. So have you all received anything from the Utah Construction or anyone about how the water will flow, flood zones, any of that?
I can answer that question. All of that information would be addressed on their site plan if and when Step one is rezoning.
Mm-hmm.
Step two would be a site plan for their building that they proposed that would include drainage, any sort of mitigation measures that would have to be taken. So respectfully, my response to that would be, it's not quite time for that yet. But yes, those are things that we look for.
Okay. So also too,
Excuse me, before we move away from that, all right, far as the water is concerned and running down, well, my name is Montel Thompson. This is my wife, Rochelle, and what I'm requesting for, what I'm looking for is if you're going to buy a property and it's going to cost so much money to move some areas, I have seen it done before and bypass some different things. I am a builder and I'm a retired builder, but I know for a fact that you cannot run your water, or you have to put some kind of access to bring it out to the street or something like that. I know this is commercial, it's different, but you have so much water that's going to be coming down. I'm a walker, and I walk areas, and I walk their property, and I know what's going on there, because there's some natural runways, there's some natural water that's going. Because of the water, it's going to make a way to make its own ditches if if it run there long enough, and that's what has happened on the property. But instead of going north, it's started coming south, and so it's a buildup on the property already, on our property already, that is not flowing out of the area. And so that's going to happen? Well, if they buy the land, so what is the procedure before we go into another process? What is the procedure of addressing that? And that's what we're looking for, of someone letting us know that this is going to be corrected before the property is even sold, or even giving us some kind of definite saying that they're going to correct a problem that's going to automatically happen, because it's happening now by natural. And so, because you already have enough commercial operations. There's a hospital up there. They have a what you would call a retainer pond around the hospital to hold that water. So are you going to build another retainer pond behind that to catch this opposite water? This other water running, because see, it's running down like this now. It's going, one coming from the hospital, and the other one is coming from the property that they was going to buy or bought already, I don't know. And then we have so the runoff that's going down this way, it's another runoff. It's like, it goes in like this, and it's running back off their property. It's kind of like a hill that's running down to our property and running back to the spot where the water is running into. And so the swell that the water is running into, and where it goes, sometimes it goes under the 55, and the other part goes on the other side of Old Jackson Road. And so what we need to find out for right now is, where is that water going to be going now? And this is just one of the issues that we have, and how are they going to address that?
Well, Mr.
Or is it going to bypass
let me just say this here. As the attorney said, you in another part, so it hadn't even been approved to rezone. All of that comes with a planning, so you can't get there until there was a rezoning, and that may or may not happen. So in their site plan, they would lay out all of that if it was to be rezoned. But we understand your concern and everything, and I myself been out that way, and where the constructions, where they have their entrance, it's really not good because of that location. So
Right.
I wouldn't be for it. And so I'm one on the board, so we can deal with that now.
I have something. I'm a writer. I like to put things in writing so it's made clear. Some of the concerns and issues that we have.
Thank you.
with the information that Ms. Taylor is passing out, some of the other issues that we have, or what you just mentioned, is about Old Jackson Road and the entrance. How would, this particular company, what roads they would use to enter and exit? We also are concerned about sewage and water, debris from construction, some environmental issues, we're concerned about that as well. And then too, as you said, it's a process. So at this point, they have not even submitted their plans. Is that correct?
That's right.
And so we're very, very concerned about that as well. Paris, anything else you want to add to that?
They have, we're concerned about electrical overload. That land is isolated land. And so water has to be done, sewage has to be done, electrical has to be done. There is no access road but off of either Hawkins Thompson Lane or coming off Old Jackson Road. So if an access road is put there, who's going to maintain that access road? They're going to have lighting. All of that is going to have to be in that location because it's not there now. And we're concerned about them using the Thompson Hawkins Lane because they're tearing up the street. There's a commercial property that you all approved that's down the street from this, from their home. And going through that, we're going through asphalt missing, potholes. Every time they fix the road, the trucks, dump trucks, they're going there, they tear it up, correct?
Yes.
And so we talked about this. And then we're concerned about them bringing in their heavy equipment. They have big trucks. This is a construction company. They have heavy equipment trucks. They have pipes that they work with.
Do you all have a homeowners association? You don't?
No.
Okay, I think that,
It's family property.
I understand that. I think that they need to get with you all, and at this time, my motion is to deny, and board,
Second.
motion and second, all in favor?
Okay, I have a question
Ayes.
about that. Okay.
Was that a aye down there?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
If we come back up, should we postpone it or deny it at this point?
Deny it, come back up.
Respectfully,
Yes, sir.
we have a lot of issues that we'd like to address with the homeowners. That's why we respectfully ask to table it and let us talk to the homeowners. Because some of these issues that they're bringing up, we have plans to address over time, but we just have not had the chance to speak with the homeowners about their concerns. Like some of the things that they've submitted to you, we have not seen. So respectfully, we'd like to table this discussion for next month's meeting and give us a chance to speak with these nice people directly and address their concerns. So could we please table this?
Procedurally, I think we have right now on the table, we have Dr. Rouser's motion to deny, seconded by Reverend Brown. So the proper procedure, I didn't hear the call for the vote. There was too many. If there's a substitute motion to table it, now would be the time to do that. Or you need to vote on Dr. Rouser's original.
I would like to offer a substitute motion to table this because if we deny it, it's going to come back up. And then we have to go through all the process of publication and notification and everything. It's going to come back up. I want to, y'all's concerns are very legitimate. They are very good questions. You have great concerns. And I understand that. I think that possibly if you would
We would just
work,
like a chance
talk
do
to
it.
this family,
Yes, please.
and then let's discuss it again, not at a later meeting.
Either way it go, you would have opportunity to get with the family. Isn't that right?
I think if the petition is denied, Scott, correct me if I'm wrong, you gotta wait a year before
You gotta
you
wait a
can-
year for the same zoning classification.
Okay.
Now, you could go to
So-
a different zoning classification.
And before there's any other action taken, I just want to be clear here that all of your concerns are extremely valid, okay? I think everybody understands that, and these Both of these documents that you have handed today will be entered into the minutes as exhibits today. But I also, in all fairness to the petitioner, think maybe they're a little bit premature, in that before you, all we're here today on is a rezoning. All of the concerns that you have addressed today are site plan and construction plan issues. They're not even to that point yet. I understand your disagreement, but that's.
I'm gonna let you say whatever. Sir, but one thing about it, when you rezone, it's done. And so when you rezone, it's done. So it'll be after the fact, as far as the family understands it.
It's rezoned, you're correct. If the rezoning is approved, you are correct. But there is a separate process for a site plan and construction plans that have to be approved after the rezoning happens. All of those issues that y'all are talking about, drainage, sewage, electricity, ingress, egress, roads, all that, that is a site plan issue.
But yes, my name is Gregory Thompson. But we have an issue with the notification. Y'all, notification is horrible. We didn't get notified. Just certain ones got notified. And Miss Georgia, did you get a notification? She stays on Thompson Road. My father, Earl Thompson Sr., he stays. They didn't get no notification. So your notification is horrible. That's why we're here voicing our opinion now. And that's why we're saying what we're saying now.
Yes, we do have a process for notification in the newspaper, signs posted on the property.
Yes, but Clarence Ledger don't come out anymore. That's why but they have mailboxes. You can mail it to them. I know y'all know their addresses.
The process is notified by the Madison County Journal. That's what the board agreed to on the paper that is most noticeably published in the county. Signs placed on the property and notify landowners within 160 feet of that property. Those are the requirements.
You also have a current property that's down the road that's on Hawkins Thompson Lane, that's commercial, that you all rezoned, the planning board rezoned, and it's a dump. They are dumping everything.
Trees, debris.
Everything
everything
there.
on the
Let me
road.
answer
And
that.
burning on that area.
That property was rezoned probably back in the 70s or 80s.
It may have been, but I'm just telling you what's happening now, and that's the reality of you rezone it to commercial property. There's no one to come out after the fact.
Excuse me a second. You all have something to say? You got to come to the mic and state your name.
Again, sir, like you said, that was rezoned in the 70s, and that's what we're trying to prevent. We're trying to prevent the same scenario happening now. Because again, as I said, when you rezone it, it's rezoned. So if it's not Utah Construction, it's some other entity that's looking at that same area that we're going to have these same problems with. You know, it's very unfortunate that we have to live in an area that's now a dump. It was rezoned because of 3 Lamar advertising signs out there. That's why it was rezoned back in the 70s. But now it's being used as a dump. And everybody that rides down Highway 55 can see it. And, you know, we actually live on that land. And I have to drive through mud every day and potholes and all of that. So that's what I'm saying. If this land adjacent to our property now is rezoned, it's highly likely we're going to have some of these same problems.
Ma'am, excuse me. I'm sorry. Y'all are punishing us for the sins of somebody else, and I don't think that's fair to us. We're trying to do right and be a good neighbor, and we'd like to work with you as far as what we're trying to design out there for our future home for our company for the next 40 years. We are not trying to be a bad neighbor. We want to work with you and show you our design on what we're trying to do, and we ask you to respectfully not punish us for the sins of some other developer. So that being said, that's why we're respectfully asking to table this so that we can show you what we want to do with this property that will hopefully be beneficial to not only us, but to the people of Madison County. So if we can't table this, then we'd respectfully ask to just withdraw our application.
No, but before we go any further and before we get any further, we have a substitute motion from Gene on the floor to table this matter until the next month.
And I would like to add to that motion, please. All these concerns that are in writing, and you can word it any way you want to, but all these concerns that this family has given us, I would like to see it you address each and every concern in writing back to us after you talk with this family.
Absolutely.
Well, right now, we have a substitute motion, and we also have a motion to deny. The motion to deny has been second, so at this time, the motion to table.
I do agree that the rezoning obviously is not being put up today. We're gonna ask him to table that, right? So, I mean, we're given some time here, so I'm gonna second.
Second,
Yeah,
all right.
I'm gonna
That's what I was-
Seconding the table.
Yes.
All right, the motion improved to second. All in favor? Ayes have it.
Dr. Rouser, what's your vote there?
I deny.
So you're 3-1 on the
Right.
substitute. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Making my minutes clear.
Motion table.
Thank you all. And I hope you understand I wasn't trying to cut anybody off or be harsh. I'm just trying to explain our process and make sure that's clear for everybody. Yes, ma'am.
Thank y'all very much for your time.
Motion to close public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
It's moved and properly second. Public hearing is closed. All in favor? Ayes have it, so it is. Nissan North America, site plan.
Good morning. I'm Cleet McHenry with Yates Construction, and we submitted a permit application for the expansion of the Nissan facility. Everything will be inside the existing campus that we have out there now, so wanted to go through the process today and hopefully seek approval.
Any opposition? I entertain a motion.
I'll second.
Second.
Both of y'all second.
Oh,
And I'm gonna put you
okay,
down
good.
as a motion.
I'm sorry,
Dean
yes,
second.
sorry about that.
And properly motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes?
Aye.
So it is. C-Store.
Good morning, I'm Emily Nelson on behalf of C-Store. We were pre-approved for our plans and nothing has been changed or touched, and we're wanting to start soon.
Do you remember the exact time when this was approved before?
I'm not sure.
I couldn't quite locate it, so, but I do know it was approved at one time. And you've had some issues with the property out there. Some tenants that aren't supposed to be there, is my understanding.
I believe so.
I think, was that the one which needed the dumpster relocated or something? Dumpster site, or how was it accessing? That wasn't it? Oh, okay.
I think they had some squatters out there. that-
Oh, okay. I entertain a motion if there's no question.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it, so it is.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Motion for April's meeting, the 11th.
So moved.
Second.
Move properly motion and second. All in favor? Ayes have it, so it is. Motion to close meeting. Adjourn. So it is.
That's all, they're running into a flaming fire there from